All right, it is Tuesday evening here, and just doing another run here, another errand. Going from Costco here in Maplewood to Roseville in Roseville. I'm sorry, Target in Roseville. Can't talk today, long day. So back there, I'm gonna just report that the car was just way too hesitant there. There was not a car within a quarter mile of us, and yet the car was very, very cautious. Again, it's one of those things where I'm fine with the car being cautious in situations, but like there, I mean, it should be pretty easy for the car not to see if something's coming or not from that far away. The pillar cameras had really good visibility to our left where traffic would have been coming from. So, you know, the extra hesitancy there was just not needed. But, you know, I'm going to caveat everything I say on this drive because of the fact that, you know, it is lightly raining out, so, you know, it could just be being cautious because of that. I saw that on my last drive today so far, where it did some things that, you know, it wouldn't have probably done had it not been raining because of the reduced visibility of road markings and things like that, and obviously the water occlusion of the camera, so. So a little bit of hesitation there on the throttle. We have a green arrow, the car needs to go, so I'm going to report that as well. Again, a minor annoyance there, but, you know, if somebody behind us is thinking we're going to go and we all of a sudden slow down a little bit, it's going to surprise a lot of folks and maybe upset a good amount of them. So we committed to the turn, we got to complete it, you know, and I'm sure the car just got confused at the other lights that didn't apply to us when they changed. So okay, there's an aborted lane change there, which I thought was interesting, but we got over just in time. So we got about a quarter mile or so left here before we make our right turn, which will take us on to MN36 West. Okay, so you can tell we're slowing down a little bit. I'm adjusting the speed because we're on an on-ramp, obviously, so I'm going to report that as well. I've noticed that behavior on certain on-ramps. Again, I'm willing to bet that is due to map data, because at some point when we get to the very end of the on-ramp, the car will suddenly decide to accelerate to 65, and you'll see the max speed limit change on the screen there. So that's just something, again, I've noticed now a few times there. It's not every on-ramp, it's only a few of them, but that's definitely one of them where it does that behavior every single time. So an easy fix is just flipping up the speed, but that's definitely a map issue. A little bit more stopping or slowing there than I would have preferred, but again, it's raining out. I'm sure the car is obviously aware of that fact because it's using the auto wipers, which, you know, that whole system is controlled by, you know, the same system that uses FSD for planning and stuff like that. So I know it's aware of the weather. So it's definitely, I'd say, being a bit more strict about keeping that 2+ car following distance between the car in front of us, irrespective of the FSD profile we have set. So, you know, overall, I'm fine with that behavior. My only complaint on that is the fact that even though we're in Assertive, the car refuses to get over to the right out of the passing lane. So I'm fine with the car doing that 2-car following distance behavior and strictly adhering to that, but we need to get over to the right, you know. Because of traffic right now, I'm just leaving it be, but I would be much more content with that sort of behavior if we're in the slower lane, because that's what it's for, right? So fingers crossed we see the reintroduction, hopefully, of the exit passing lane functionality that we have all become accustomed to with Navigate Autopilot that's not currently in full self-driving version 11 yet, but hopefully we see that, you know, in a future release. So a little bit of slowing there, but that was due to the fact the car wanted to get over. So again, we started slowing before we flipped our signal on. And we need to have those events flip back around the other way. We got to start signaling earlier, and it's something I'm going to, kind of hammer on in every video I can, because it's something that's definitely lacking right now. The car knows it's going to make a lane change or signal, or do some sort of maneuver where we're going to slow down and turn or whatever. We need to signal early and leave that signal on if there's not a spot. Right now the car will turn off the turn signal if the gap isn't there. So great behavior around this curve so far. It's a little wider because technically it's going to be 2 lanes if it's not already 2 lanes. It's just not marked. And the car is doing a great job staying to the left next to the yellow line. That's exactly the type of behavior we want to see. In version 10, that would have been all over the place. So big pothole there I didn't see to the end, unfortunately, because of the water, but hopefully I didn't lose a tire there. It's always fun in spring in Minnesota. We got all sorts of cool road hazards like that are hidden by the weather. Good confident behavior there with that right turn. Even though we had cars kind of approaching us there, the car didn't stutter at all. Somebody must be in a hurry there. They were flying past us there. And honestly, the car did everything right. I know I've griped on the stop behavior. It's a little slow, but it did exactly what we needed to. And ironically enough, I'm sure this person's going to Target too. I'm not sure what they're in a big hurry for. A little bit of stopping towards the end of that turn there. I don't know if you saw that and noticed that. I'm going to report that. More than likely it's because of the snowbank, but what's kind of funny is the car had already seen it before we turned in, so it should have already known about it, so I'm not sure why it acts surprised there. So I'm going to let it complete this right turn, and then I'm going to take over since we're in the parking lot. Alright. So, overall, not a bad setup there with this drive. We did, it wasn't the most challenging of routes, but, even with the weather, the car did a great job getting from point A to point B. A little jerkiness towards the end with that last turn, but no real big complaints overall. So except for maybe the persistence on staying in the left lane with Assertive. It needs to get out of the passing lane, but otherwise good drive. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks again.